First off, Brock Bowers. Yes, that Brock Bowers, the rookie phenom who's been MIA since October 1st. For the first time in weeks, the star tight end was back on the practice field. He wasn't taking full reps, but the fact that he was there at all is a big deal. This is the same guy who injured his knee back in Week 1 against the Patriots, and the uncertainty surrounding his recovery has kept fans on edge ever since. The team had been tight-lipped about his progress, leaving everyone to speculate. But now, Pete Carroll's earlier optimism seems to be paying off. The plan has always been to eye a Week 9 return, and seeing Bowers moving again makes that target suddenly feel within reach. You can see the careful approach here. Bowers himself admitted he's taking things day by day, not rushing, not forcing it. That's maturity beyond his years. Because let's be real, this team doesn't need another short-term spark that ends in long-term damage. They need the Brock Bowers, the one who dominates, who changes games, who defenses can't figure out. Getting him back at full strength could redefine this season. So for now, let him heal, let him rebuild confidence, and when he's ready, he'll be the weapon this offense desperately needs. Now let's talk about the real headline grabber this week, Jakobi Meyers. His situation has been nothing short of chaotic. One day he's missing practice with a knee and toe issue, and the next, rumors are flying that he's being shopped around in trade talks. For days, speculation was everywhere. Insiders, reporters, fan threads, all wondering if this was the end of his time in silver and black. But now things have calmed. Meyers was back at practice, limited but present, and Pete Carroll confirmed that the expectation is for him to play against Kansas City. Still, it's hard not to feel the tension. Every move feels loaded with meaning. Was his absence truly about health, or was it a business decision? There's a sense that even if he suits up, this story isn't over. You can sense the uncertainty in every report. The Raiders could easily be protecting his value ahead of a trade. After all, his name's been floated in discussions all week. It's possible that the front office is waiting for the right offer before pulling the trigger. Meyers brings consistency and leadership, things this young receiving corps desperately need. But if the Raiders decide they're sellers at the deadline, he might be one of the first to go. Still, for now, his presence on the field gives this team some stability. Even if he's only limited, it forces the Chiefs' defense to account for him, and that alone is a tactical win. Whether or not he catches a single pass, his mere participation changes how Kansas City prepares. And speaking of game prep, the injury report has been a roller coaster this week. Bowers is doubtful, Meyers is questionable, and then you've got guys like Dylan Law, who's been nursing a hamstring but is expected to go. Alex Bachman's also been limited, and don't overlook that one. He's quietly been crucial on special teams, not to mention as a reliable depth receiver. Losing him, even temporarily, could throw off the rhythm in the return game. And then there's Max Crosby, added late to the injury list with a back issue. But come on, it's Max Crosby. The man would probably play through a tornado. Still, back problems are tricky. He'll play, no question, but every snap he takes will be one the staff watches closely. He's the heart and soul of this defense. If he's hurting, everyone feels it. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are walking into this matchup nearly at full strength, with only offensive tackle Josh Simmons ruled out for personal reasons. But there's some quiet noise around that situation. Whispers of something more going on behind the scenes. Whatever it is, it opens a small but meaningful opportunity for the Raiders' defense to exploit. If there's a weak spot on that offensive line, you can bet Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz will find it. That's the formula. Hit Mahomes early, hit him often, and keep him guessing. You can't let him get comfortable, not even for a drive. Then there's Pete Carroll doing what he does best, talking in circles while somehow keeping spirits high. When asked if the next two games would affect how the Raiders approach the trade deadline, he gave a masterclass in saying everything and nothing at once. We're competing to get as good as we can possibly get. It's the kind of quote you expect from a veteran coach, full of enthusiasm, short on answers, but you can't really blame him. If they win these next two games, the Raiders head into their bye at 4-4, and suddenly the season doesn't look so bleak. Beat Kansas City and Jacksonville, and you're not just surviving, you're competing. Lose both, though, and the writing's on the wall. The front office will have no choice but to shift focus to 2025. If the Raiders do decide to buy before the deadline, one name that makes sense is Tariq Woolen. He's young, athletic, and familiar with Carroll's system. But honestly, the vibe right now feels more like a seller's market for this team. Trading Myers would signal a full pivot toward the future, a retooling year. You can't trade your most consistent receiver and then pretend you're pushing for the playoffs. So the next couple of games will define not just this season, but the direction of the franchise. One final nugget that flew under the radar. The Raiders worked out punter Brock Miller this week. Yeah, punters rarely make headlines, but this move is about being smart. A.J. Cole's been a little banged up lately, and the staff just wants some insurance. Miller's been around the block, 49ers, Rams, Giants, plus a few spring leagues, and he's got a serious leg. It's the kind of quiet, calculated roster move that smart organizations make. No panic, no chaos, just preparation. And that's really the story here. For the first time in a while, the Raiders look steady. No major drama, no implosions, just players working back from injuries, a team trying to find its rhythm, and a fan base daring to hope again. Bowers trending up, Myers back in pads, Crosby grinding through the pain. It's not perfect, but it's progress. And for Raider Nation, progress feels like victory. So here's the question. Do you think this is the start of something? Real, or just another false dawn? Can the Raiders finally put it all together against the Chiefs? Drop your thoughts below, Raider Nation. I want to hear what you think. And if you're as ready as I am to see this team fight their way back into relevance, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay locked in. Because one thing's for sure, this season isn't done yet, not by a long shot.